It seems to be like stop sharing.
1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you run from the second slide?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to run second slide.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I'll reiterate again shortly. As explained as a monolithic application, right? It's a bundle together as a single application, as a order, as a delivery. There is a two component. If a shopping application, not only two component, a real world web commerce, e-commerce application, right? So many features will be, so many components will be available. As I said here, like if it is order component is impacted, and then its overall system going to be failure, and then the overall site is not reachable to user, and then the company or whoever tool, right, who are using, right, they will lose the reputations, and then they will start losing the customers. So in order to high available, what is high available? Whenever users hit that particular URL, any of the services should anytime should be available, and you should not crash the application. For example, right, to take Amazon or Netflix, right, the overall year is high, the 99% is overall 365 days and 24/7. Their site was available. Usually only merely like only 1.01% is not available because of the maintenance. So that much of like high availability you need in order to bring, if you are going to use this kind of a monolithic application, you cannot retain that kind of high availability, because if one side of one component is going to be fired up, and then the overall application itself going to be down. So that's a problem statement over here. And let's go for what is a microservice. So microservice is like is architectural. It's a components in order to design your applications, right, using collection of services. Okay, build small services, and then it's actually a unit of services. If it is for example, if you take like the shopping user interface, which is monolithic application, which is shown in the before slide, right? If you see the shopping user interface is running as a small different services, microservices. So here order is a separate services, and the delivery is a separate services, and then the database is also separate. In it's specific to those components, and we are if you're running separately. So if in this model, right, if you are going to fire up this order component not available, but still delivery will can occur. Similarly, like if a delivery component going to be failed, and then order component going to serve. So also there is a big advantage. Suppose you can do the like incremental version, new features, new advantage you can add to the order component. You can and deploy separately to the order department, and then this delivery deployment also not disturbed. Similarly, like vice versa. So that's why what is microservice? It's highly maintainable and testable. That means easily if you split it to multiple components, right? Then when which one you want to upgrade, that alone you can go and upgrade, and which one you want to like if it is fired up, you can separately look into that, why what is happening on particular component. If everything together like when issue comes, right, then we will scratch our head where what went wrong, which component actually made a failure, something like that. Again, this is a loosely coupled. So you already learned in design principles, right? Software design principles. As much you design an application as a loosely coupled, then easily maintainable and easily pluggable. So that's a model is following microservice. I already told independently deployable, and also you can organize around the business capabilities. Now I'm organizing my service itself based on its business capability, like logging, or like searching, or filtering, or like this is order, delivery, procurement. such a like business wise, business entity wise, you can group together and develop a application, and then you can go and deploy. And also this can be owned by small team, so you don't need a big team. Like if it is a very big complex application, right, minimum 60 to 70 100 developers will be there. But if you convert into these complex applications into microservices, and then you can split it to small team, and then it's very easy to maintain them, get the work done, and then rapidly you can develop the applications. So rapid, frequent, and reliable delivery, large complex applications. So basically, you are like relaxing the complex architecture into easily maintainable architecture. So it is easy for any organization and also evolve on their each kind of technology stack as well. So that's what we are seeing as an example here. Okay, so for any questions? Anthony, any questions first? Okay. Anthony, I'm audible? Okay. Let's see any questions. Okay. Thanks. Let's step into Spring Boot. Okay, microservices is a concept. It's all important. Let's understand it's many. If you want to create like a microservice, there are many applications, tools, components, frameworks, supports. In order to build simple microservices. So we are going to choose one as the top one right now in the world is a Spring Boot. So what is Spring Boot? Spring Boot is Spring team released major innovations. Actually, this innovation concept, the top of the existing Spring framework. Spring framework itself, it's a very good framework, and then it is an inversion of control framework. Everybody aware of it. And it's a very strong framework if you want to develop application uniform way using Java. Spring framework helps a lot. So the advantage of Spring Boot is they built top of the Spring framework, and that is another greatest advantage. And this is completely a new project from Pivotal team, that is a Spring team. So the primary motivation behind, right, if you want to develop a Spring applications, it's a lot of like you need to do configurations and then deployment, a lot of boilerplates, configuration, pre-steps before even if you want to develop your logics, right? You want to add a business logic or business service you want to develop, you need to have like a strong knowledge required, and then pre-steps required, lot of boilerplate code is required, all these things, right? So this Spring Boot, it's eliminating all these boilerplate pre-configuration steps, all things you need to configure. You need to focus as a developer or any software developer. You need to start focusing on your own business problem, on own business requirement or business logic. So what it is doing, Spring Boot, it's having a kind of a starter form. All thing is you need to mention the starter form. It automatically configured, right? Required classes, dependencies, properties, all these libraries. It's class form. We'll see in example. And also, like if you want to interaction with the database, right, just include their database starter form. Automatically, it will go and interact with the database. So you don't need to do any configurations, anything. So Spring Boot that way helps removing lot of capabilities, predefined capabilities, all these things. with the minimal frictions. Just you need to go and mention that what you need, just to declare that whatever need, it will take care of everything. So only already I told, right? You need to focus the application functionality with the minimal. Somewhere you don't need to do configuration. It itself like it will configure on behalf of you. So and also like the avoided. Really, if you want to deploy the Spring MEC framework using Tomcat, Struts, all those things, right? So if you want to develop some applications, and really all developer go for crazy because of like a lot of time will go for configuring the application, troubleshooting it, why that is not coming, why that server like JSP or Angular page is not coming, 404, 505, different problems will come. All things, everything is actually removed here, and then the Spring Boot really very powerful concept in order to develop your microservice. So what it is offers, it helps in creating Spring applications. If you want to convert a Spring application, convention over configurations. Configurations is very tough here so far. So easily they are doing automatically the configurations. And then it is having starter form. This is a starter form, right? This is you need a form if you want to develop like this a Maven project, and just go in simple form. And moreover, right, you don't need to create the forms and all. It will help you to create. I will see an example. So all thing is like example Spring Boot starter.web, and also like not only this, it's allowing you to help like if you develop a Spring application, right? If I want to do the like if how your application is behaving and how it is serving, whether it is up or not, all those things, futures, monitoring, metrics. So all those things is out of the box functionality the Spring Boot is offers. You don't need to specifically go on code and then do it. These are all like painful in the current today development model. All things, right? It's easily for developers. They just need to go and focus on only the logic. Okay. So I'm going to have like the whatever the example we shown, right? Shopping sample, and I'm going to use Eclipse is an IDE, and it's offers by Spring itself a Spring tool suite. So it is available in this site, like in this site, and you can go and download that Spring Tools suite. So the version 4 is available. Spring Tools for Eclipse. So you want to deploy Linux or Mac or Windows, you can go and deploy. Same thing for. So what is the advantage of Spring Tools? It's bundled with the Spring features. So the other compare than other Eclipse tools, you can go and use this tool so that it's out of the box functionality is available. Okay. So I already installed the Spring's tool suite. So you can go and download and install it. Any question so far? Okay. Let's go. Go create a simple Spring Boot application. Okay. So here, like, right, I'm going to build the order and delivery as a microservice. Let's go and build a microservice now. Go to new and right click new. I'm going to create a one microservice now. So there is a lot of options available. So I'm going to create Spring Starter project. So this is all Eclipse won't have these features. So only Spring tool suite is having this feature. Yeah, and then other Eclipse you can add as a Spring features as a plugin. Then you can bring this feature in the Eclipse. Let's get started with the Spring Starter project. Okay. So what it is going to do, Spring Starter project, right? The Spring itself, their website, right? On demand, the service is available. That is https startspring.io. So using this, and I'm going to develop this shopping cart. So let's give that example: shopping cart application. Let's give this is a Maven project. This is a Java version using 8, packaging as a jar. In language, I'm going to build this one as a Java. So let's give some com.ds, and then the shopping cart, the artifact, and this is the com.ds dot. Package name is com.ds dot shopping. Just give this name, any name you can give. So click next. So if you see, right, these features, you see these features, and this is a Spring Boot version. So many version is available. I'm going to use 2.3.0. So if you see, right, the Spring Boot is it's a project. It's a pivotal team is developed. So they give on demand, like the out of box functionality. If you want to interact with the Alibaba service, you can go and use this. If you want to interact with the Amazon web service, you can go and select this. Same thing, like we want to Google Cloud platform, so you can go and you can build a service, and then if you want to communicate with the Google Cloud platform, then you can integrate using this out of the box functionality. Similarly, like security, if you want to build the security around your applications so that the external world should not attack in your application, using security model, out of the box functionality is available. All things just to configure, just to mention that in the starter and go and do the simple configuration. So there is a Spring Cloud. It's a one cloud application. So you can build it. And then there is a cloud circuit broker, right? So any component is breaking, and then due to a short, then you can want to route it to the another component using this. You can do that. And then this is a configurations you can provide. So similarly, like a lot of out of the box functionality is available here. So I'm going to search the simple microservice I'm going to build. I'm going to choose under web. This is Spring Web. I'm going to choose. So we want to build web services. You can build Jersey and Vadin, and then many things is available. Let's focus on only web now. As of now, that alone need. So what it will do, right? It will. So this is like a fill URL. So this Eclipse tool suite, it will communicate to this starter, this particular URL Spring. Then it will submit these all the parameters. See, whatever I selected, right? com.ds, shopping cart, all this information is filled. And then it will give submit to this starter.zip. And then it will develop your code, all required code for you, base setup for you. And then it will download, and then it will set it in this Eclipse. Let's do the finish. See, it's imported now. So this is created with the Spring Boot. Shopping cart is a Spring Boot application. Yeah, let's see, expand this one. It's created as a Maven project, Maven structure. So if you create any Maven, it will follow the same standard. And it's created in whatever the package name which I actually declared in the screen. So this is a shopping cart application. It's a created. So this is a simple Java class. It is created by the Spring Boot, that means Spring site, using Spring Starter. So all thing is like a, if you simple hello world application, if you take any Java, right, it will have like a Java class name and then the main. All thing is only two configuration you need to do. This is at the rate of Spring Boot application. If you declare this is annotation, we call this a Java annotation. If you declare this one as a Spring Boot application, this entire project will treat it as a Spring Boot application. And you need to run Spring application.run. You need to run this application. So this is a code created by the Spring site, Spring Starter Web. Let's go and see the pom.xml. This also created by the Spring Starter project. So whatever the information provided earlier, right? The parent is Spring Boot, starter parent is a 2.3, the version which I mentioned, 2.3.0. And our project is group ID, and then artifact ID is a shopping cart, and then version is mentioned over here. So shopping cart, the Java version I'm going to use 1.8. All thing is nothing much here. So simple one dependency, Spring Boot starter web. If you mention this one, this alone is enough. It will download n number of dependencies. You don't need to worry about any of the conflict, many dependency. If you think Spring MVC applications, right? Spring application, right? You need to include a lot of Spring related dependencies. Here, like just one dependency is a Spring Boot or starter web. If you go and see, right, the Maven dependencies, it downloaded this many jars for you. The biggest beauty, right, it is downloaded embedded Tomcat as well. You know, the greatest advantage, right? So you don't need to configure a Tomcat in order to run your microservice. So this is Spring Boot inbuilt is having the Tomcat as well. So just run as a simple Java application, it will run. So all things you need to mention the Spring Boot or starter web. It's a simple form. And then this is like unit testing you want to perform. This is starter test. Suppose you write a code, you want to perform unit testing, then you can add the unit testing. That is a very big concept. We can see separately. Okay, let's go and build one simple microservice. So I'm going to create one Java class here. Let's go and create Java class. So I'm going to type shopping service. So let's finish it up. Okay. So in order to okay, this is Spring Boot application. Entire application running as a microservice, and you want to like build a like order component or a shopping component or delivery component. You want to build some business logic over here, right? So I'm going to build a shopping service. For that, you need to declare as a REST controller. Okay. So this is I'm going to declare as a REST controller. I'm going to write a one simple code, public string hello, just welcoming one service. So return welcome to shopping world. I'm declare here like I'm going to declare another request mapping. Let's give like just a hello. So that's all. I built now one simple microservice. So that is hello. You can go and deploy any of your internet world. Your service will run successfully. So let's run on this application. Let's see whether application running or not. So what I did, one simple hello is simple returning the message. And then if you go in the browser, right, type like www whatever the host, and then /hello, then it will return this statement. So the entire shopping service I declares a REST controller. So that like Spring Boot will understand. You need to declare these annotations in order to recognize this hello from the whenever the request is coming from the browser. Let's go and run this application. Shopping cart, right click, run as Spring Boot app. So it is actually a building now. You see, the Spring Boot is started now, and then this is embedded Tomcat. Now it is started with the local host. This browser is a local host, and its port is like 8080. So my service is running now. Let's go on browser. Localhost. So this is the local host. The host is running, and this port is running. Let's enter the hello. Yeah. Okay. My first Spring Boot is running. Microservice is running. Within fraction of a second, I able to build the microservice, able to run successfully. So, is there anything did nothing much, right? So only like only 3 steps I did. One step just using Spring Boot starter component, build this application, and then I went to simple shopping service and able to run one simple microservice. Let's right. So let's run this application using this simple Java application, and then it ran from the local host, and then able to run it. Okay, nothing much, right? So any question on this one? Okay, let's go and build the I'm going to build the service like public string like order. So I'm going to return a message like successfully ordered, given a message. So I'll give that like a recurrent mapping. That's order. So run now. So okay, now I am stopping it because the whatever the another service I added here as order service, in order to reflect in the browser, then again I need to rerun as a Spring Boot, run as Spring Boot app. So go to like hello, like a change this URL to another service I built within a fraction of a second. Successfully order is given. Suppose like so when okay, there is a development features they added by the Spring team. Whenever you do the change without restarting your server, the change immediately will reflect. For that, what you need to do, go to like a Spring Boot. 1 second. Using Spring Boot tools, add boot dev tools. I added. This nothing will do, not much it will do. To go to the POM, there is a dependency we added, Spring Boot dev tools. What is the advantage of this tool? You don't need to restart the server every time. Whenever the service you add, immediately the change will reflect. For example, like let me stop. I didn't add any services. Let's go run this again as a Spring Boot. Spring Boot. So let me see that order is cancelled. Let me change the services. Order is cancelled. Here I don't need to restart. So see, automatically is restarted. You see that server, right? Whenever you do, these are all out of the box functionalities available. So if you go here, like same thing. See, order is cancelled. So this is if you want to develop like this is a shopping cart which is running 800. This is order. Suppose you want to build like which the delivery component, right? If you want to run in different microservice. So I already created one application here. Let's see like the similar application. So here like so here like let me change this is let me create a delivery service now. New Java class. Delivery service. Okay. So here like let's declare this as a REST controller. So let's declare like a custom mapping. So let's give that this is a delivery. Delivered successfully. So I'm going to run this one. One problem here like because already one application running in port number 8080. Suppose this application I want to run it in the different host, right? You can run it in the different host. Since I am running in the same host, I cannot change the host name here. Like what I can do, I can change the port. So in order to change the port, right, you need to go here. Go to there is a SRC main resources application properties. I change the server.port is 9090. Let's run this application. Run Spring Boot app. So this microservice running in the same host, but different port is 9090. If you see here, right? See the application running with 9090. Let me go to the browser. So localhost 9090 / delivery. Delivered successfully. So here, like even here, you can go to you can build the same services in 8080 also. The delivery services, right? Let's copy this one. So this, when you go build this in the same application, right? This is called monolithic application. Whereas when order are getting any issue, then overall your services will go down. So even you can go and hit it here as well. 8080 delivery. So the Spring Boot offers me within fraction of 20 minutes able to multiple microservices without as a developer, right? As a without focusing on anything on your configuration, boilerplate, template code, all those things, and then successfully able to deliver. So suppose if you go and stop this 8080, right? Still your order services will run. See, delivery order services will run, but even if you go to declare delivery services here, because it's a crash, because the service is not available, the site cannot be reached. So very cool, right? So anybody like they can go and build this services. See, I just wrote as kind of a mock services here, and we can extend this one into like this order implementation, communicating to database, retrieve that order and delivery status, all this. Using all things what you need to do. Spring Boot starter, right? So go to like database you want to include. So we'll go to new project, new Spring Boot starter project, and let's see like next. And this is a web which I've chosen already, and JPA. Okay, this is a Spring Data JPA. You can access Java Persistent API using this components. You can simply integrate with the database. You can bring the data from the database and then you can build it. So cool features, right? This Spring Boot offers. Any question? Yeah, there is a lot of stuff available out of the Spring Boot. I think this is the basic one, building the microservice using Spring Boot and then declare. Okay, all this framework you can see, dev tools, configures, and then this there's actuator concepts available. You can, if you just configure, it will bring all the things. Okay, so you can more learn on Spring Boot. There is a wonderful tutorial is available, and yeah, Spring IO. There is a GitHub is available. You can go and download it. That's all. Any questions? Okay, so there are questions. Let's go by one. Sir, the biggest disadvantage of Spring is its size. It tries to be all in one Java development framework. It works fine when you have architecture standard follow your company for the usage of any frameworks. The size doesn't matter these days. Um, uh, See, these all commodity softwares, right? It doesn't matter like all these dependency frameworks. You can download on demand. It's a Maven applications. It won't occupy much space. It won't go for gigabytes all things. Spring Boot like Java, sir? Yes, Spring framework is built on top of Java. Spring Boot on top of a Spring Break.
Santosh,
Yeah.
I hope that like video is put on mute.
Which one? Yeah. Okay. The Spring Boot like Java, no, already I told, right? Java is a programming language. Spring Boot is a project. So the Spring framework is built top on Java using dependency injection IOC container, and then
And
Spring Boot is a top of difference between SOA and microservice. Yeah, this is a service-oriented architecture. It's similar to the micro service. And the service-oriented architecture, right? You can also build as a monolithic. The service-oriented architecture is you are going to expose as a service, even in monolithic application. Whereas it's a microservice it's architectural standards because you need to dissect into smaller kind of a service components, and then you need to build your application so that independently it can run and then it can easily maintainable all those things. But a service, right? It's a general architecture concepts. No, it's very easy, right? You see, right? The question easy or difficult to study about Spring framework? No. A lot of tons of materials available. All thing is it's easy to read and easy to develop, and then quick to integrate, and also it's provide easy to the complex applications converting into a small service applications. See, it reduces a lot of development time, deployment, downtime as well. Okay. For each microservice should have for each microservice should we have separated data stored? No, it depends upon architectural your applications. For example, right, the search, and then in our example, if any Amazon website, for example, I'll give you some sample idea, or any the searching is very huge, the hit will be very huge than the order. So you can have search alone separate data. Where order delivery you can have in single database. Similar like it depends upon the application. You can categorize your data model or database. What are the difficulties, challenges in microservices? Okay. The difficulty and challenges, the microservices, right? When you build multiple microservices, there is too many network calls rather than internally communicating it. And then suppose if you develop a microservice which is running in India, another microservice running in USA, another microservice running in Japan, right? The communication, there is a delay will be there. And also any failure occurs, right? Then you need to have like which services actually it's failed. You see there's 100 of microservices running, particular services running, then you need to have which services failed, and then that time we will have some more difficulty. But to overcome all this is all other alternatives is available. Yeah, absolutely. My organization is completely migrating into already migrating into complex application, monolithic applications, tightly coupled, and believe me, it's very simple to convert your any complex application into the Spring model. Easily you can migrate. Any more question? Yeah, one more question. Okay, if you are using Amazon, so what are the steps you need to take care? See, Amazon provides a very good tool for kind of a developers. They are providing 1 year free services. You can go and develop Amazon. All thing is you need to have integrations, the Amazon dependency libraries. Suppose your service is running inside like AWS, and you want to retrieve the components, then use their dependency in your own service, and then you can integrate, communicate, and retrieve, and then display to the user. All thing is you just go into the startup project, include that, and then do the configuration simple steps. It's available in the Spring. The steps what to do that, right? It's available in the Spring site itself. So microservice using Spring Boot, where we need to use. Yeah, you want to expose as a service, right? For example, a lot of layman people say, suppose there is idea, right? There's a tax calculations, and you can develop a mobile screen using a tax calculator. You can express as a tax calculator as a service in the microservice in AWS as well, or you can run it on Google Cloud platform, and you can expose as a service in mobile, right? In the screen UI is a tax calculator. Anybody can enter the tax informations and then submit it, and then you want to calculate tax, call your service running in the all these platform, and you can expose as a output to the same mobile, and then show the output display to the user. This is a simple example. Similarly, like any business logic, you can go and implement.
So, all right, Santosh.
Yeah. Yes, Anthony.
Uh, Hope we had a very good webinar of this. Like 1 hour has been much more productive for our circuit band students, as well as even the faculties also been got benefited out of it.
Yeah.
And moreover, like your slides has been given a much more informative also. And
Yeah.
it was like if you share me your slides, like it
Yeah,
will be
sure.
faculties too
I'll
for
share
taking.
that slide. Yeah, I'll share the slide. Yes.
One more question to you, it seems.
Yeah, I think thank you. Yeah, this is just the starting point of the tip of Spring Boot. A lot of stuff is available around the Spring Boot. So this will be quite interesting to start. So compare than Spring MVC Spring, this is much ahead, much advanced, and then very easy for Java developers. Thank you, Anthony, for arranging this
Yeah,
wonderful session to share.
I just want to thank you, and as well as on behalf of management and principal of the National Srinivasan College of Engineering and Technology, I heartily
Yeah.
thank Mr. Santosh of being a wonderful session, being with us for more than 1 hour, because like though it's scheduled to 1 hour and it extended too. So thanks a lot. And hope you are like on behalf of management, I request you to give you a physical presence once, like after this COVID and quarantine gets over, to visit our campus once again to give a kind of a wonderful seminar to our students too.
Sure.
So thanks a lot,
Sure.
Mr. Santosh.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you all.